All right, all right. What's going on, everybody? DB4 here, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to another glorious special feature. In today's special feature, we're going to be playing a game called Myst Legacy. Now, Myst Legacy is a brand new classic tabletop RPG game with a lot of interesting things going on. There's some real-time elements, some turn-based things going on. Real interesting game. Now, if you don't know, this game is out on Steam. It got some pretty good reviews on Steam as well, I might add. This game was developed by Verdes Inc. It's currently releasing today out of early access. And I'm going to read a description of the game that the developers put up on the Steam page real quick for you guys. It says, Myst Legacy gives you a new way to experience the thrills and adventure of an MMORPG. Handcrafted by a small team of passionate developers, the game features an easy-to-play top-down world, turn-based combat, and a skill-based progression system. Try out our game for free. We hope you like it. Now, I would have to say myself, I checked this game out a while back, and it's a pretty dope game. Real dope. It has all of the tabletop, top-down elements that they spoke of. What I like about this game is I seen it when it first came out of early access last year, and like I always like to say on this channel, I like to support games that come and actually make it out of early access. So I followed this game's progression from time to time. They had a lot of progression updates. During the summer, they were supposed to release, and they had a little bit of a hiccup, but they got the game out of full release. That they're currently in version 1.0 at the moment. But yeah, now we're out of early access. Now, when it comes to a game like this is a very niche game for people who like classic RPGs. But if you like classic RPGs or turn-based RPGs, you shouldn't have a problem with this game. It's going to be pretty dope. So that's why we decided to do a special feature on this game. Now, you can currently get this game right now as we speak on Steam for free. It is a free-to-play game. It is an MMORPG. They do have some microtransaction elements to the game. We'll go through that a little bit later on, but we're going to do a short special feature mini-series on this game and just see how it does on the channel. And I just want to do about 5 episodes, about an hour length minimum, and then we're going to see how it goes from there. Now, we got some information down in the description box as always. We have the website to the game. We also have the Steam link as well as our social media contact information. Now, with all that being said, I want to show my appreciation for everybody that's here with us today watching this video. And without further ado, let's get right down to some gameplay. Man, I'm super excited to play this game because like I expressed before, I actually did play this game a while back in early access. So let's start it up. We're going to start a brand new fresh game. Now, as you can see, they had a server up for about 343 days so far. I don't have any characters on this server. I have characters on my other account. That's how I was able to play the game. But you only get a minimum of 2 characters per server until they create more servers at the very beginning. So after you create those 2 characters, you're basically stuck with those 2 characters. I don't think you can delete them at the moment. But we'll get into the gameplay. Let's go.
You were born in Valsange, a large village surrounded by a thick magical mist. You had a rather happy childhood, and like most young people of your age, you explored the ruins on which your city was built.
Yep. See, this is the main story of the game. Pretty dope.
After trying to follow in your parents' footsteps, you have decided to enroll in the Mistwalker Academy. During your training, you learned how to use an enchanted orb to sculpt mist and build your domain. The teachers also taught you how to survive in the magical fog. The day after your graduation night, you woke up with a severe headache, which you first attributed to your party activities the night before. You quickly changed your mind when you saw your orb surrounded by an intense, luminous aura. You approached your sphere. Then, you lost consciousness.
All right, all right. Here's the character creation screen. Looks pretty clean. Looks pretty clean. We could do some randomization options real quick. As you can see, they got a bunch of different options. Oh wow, I like this dude. They got some dreads. All right, we're gonna go with that. Um, Maybe we could switch the face up a little bit to customize it a little bit more. All right. Okay. Let's get a decent beard too. Why not? Oh, I like that beard. That beard is that's an epic beard right there. All right, mustache. We can do beard and mustache separate, huh? All right. Usually they just give you a goatee and tell you to roll with it. I kind of like that other stash, the partially shaved one. Let's see. That's a decent stash right there. The no stash. Ah, you can change skin tones and everything. Pretty dope. Okay, they got some pretty good shaders. We're not gonna spend too much time on the character creation. We're just gonna make a pretty decent character. It's basically a random character, if you really look at it. All right, character name. As always, the Great DB4. And let's go. During your unconsciousness, you dreamed of a world. Arid lands of the South. Mountains piercing the clouds. And lands covered by snow. Was it really a dream? All right. This is the very beginning, the very introduction of the game. This is going to be our guide for this part of the game. He's basically the tour guide or the tutorial guy. Click the left mouse button on a map to a place you want to go. It's that simple. You just click and then your character icon will walk there, just like you expect in a tabletop RPG. Or you can hold down the right mouse button to just walk straight, or use WASD or the arrow keys to move in any direction. Pretty simple stuff when it comes to moving. As they said, I can just click there and walk. I can click anywhere on the map really and walk to it. Anywhere that's accessible. We're going to speak about that in a minute. Now, I can also, this is our backpack. We don't have anything in it. This is our character sheet. Only thing we have is our normal clothes so far. A Val song, shirt, and pants. We'll get into that later. We can also WASD, like they just said, WASD. This game does have controller support too. You can do the same thing, move with your controller with the analog stick and the D-pad. And you can use the arrow keys as well. Now, usually what happens in a game like this, and it's an MMO, as you can see, there's one person in this plane right here. He's a level 42 person, and he's actually a supporter of the game. Let's just go over this screen real quick. This is basically this is the map. Now, I'll show how the map works in a minute, but these are your skills. We'll go over this in a minute. You have your harvesting skills, like botany, like picking flowers and stuff like that. You have hunting, like gathering hide. You have lumberjacking, like collecting wood, obviously, and you got mining. Then you have forest ability, your mist skill, your mountain skill, your swamp skill, and your underground. We'll get into what all that stuff means later. Then you have your other skills like academics, athletics, exploration, perception, persuasion, strategy, and subterfuge. Now, this is a real time. Every time you move, time ticks in real time. And it's a day and night cycle, as you can see. And we'll get into the real-time aspects a little bit more in a minute. This is your chat screen that we're not really going to use, and all of these icons are your tabs to get to your other menus, like your backpack, your character screen, your world map, things like that. Now, this is the world map. Huge. All of this area can be accessed. You can basically go to every part of this map, but the way this game works, you can't just get everywhere at the beginning. We'll explain that later too. But let's just get right into the beginning of the tutorial and start doing some good stuff. Now, as you can see, I tried to click up here, but there was no path found, so it didn't move anywhere. If you can't access a place, the game won't path find there at all. Now, usually when you're walking around, these little flag poles will pop up, and these are considered events. You go to these, and this is how you start your quest, or you go and do missions and stuff like that. So first things first, let's walk up to this first event. This is the Awakening event. Without care or concern for your presence, the wolf cub nibbles upon your lantern as if it were a partially tasty bone. Now, this is just like any other tabletop RPG. You walk up to this event and you're presented with a scenario, and then there's a few things you can do to get through the scenario. And these are all based on the stats that we went over a second ago. So let's get into the first scenario, the Awakening. The shock of your arrival in this new place is passing. However, you feel drained of energy. It is like you've been robbed of part of your very being. You notice with horror that your mist lantern is no longer with you. Desperately searching in all directions, your eyes are drawn towards a Vega cub, carefree and vigorous, playing with the lantern in the grass. You have no idea what will happen if it breaks the glass around the orb, but you don't intend to find out. What will you do? Now, this is just like Dungeons and Dragons. If you ever play D&D and stuff like that, you get presented with a scenario, then you have a few options. This is why I love this game. It's real true to classic RPG, Dungeons and Dragons style gameplay. If you ever played any type of tabletop RPGs, you'll be familiar with this. Now, there's 3 things we can do. We can wrestle with the cub. It's going to do an athletics check that we obviously pass because we need at least 2 in athletics skill to pull this off. And as you can see, it's going to succeed because it's green. We can scare the cub off. That's going to be our persuasion skill. Or we can bring the cub's attention to another. That's our academic skill. Those skills correlate to these skills over here on the left. As you can see, we have a 2 in almost everything. Academic, athletic. So whatever we do here will succeed. And obviously our reward will be we'll get our Mist Lantern back. Now what I'm going to do with this specific encounter, another thing to take into account, whichever option you choose, that's what skill you're going to level up. So always take that in mind. There's always different things you can do to solve these type of encounters. But remember, that's going to be the skill you level up, because we'll gain athletics experience for doing it this way. We'll gain persuasion for doing it that way. And we'll gain academics for doing it this way. Me knowing what I know about this game, athletics is going to be real important. Academics as well, and persuasion too, but I think we're going to take the athletic route. We're going to wrestle with the cub to get the Mist Lantern back. And now this is going to take a certain amount of real time to complete, and then you're going to see that happen, and then it's going to actually tick time down on this little timer down here once I select it. See, the day actually passed by, a lot of stuff happened, and this time moved up a little bit because it actually took some time to wrestle the cub. Now, this is the end of the scenario. Usually when you complete a scenario, you get this little booklet right here telling you how everything went. Okay, you grab the lantern with one hand and forcefully push the little cub away with the other. He lets out what's more a squeal than a growl, gives up the fight, and bounds away through the grass. You're left hoping that you won't return with a wolf pack's worth of reinforcements. Following your initial relief at having retrieved your Mist Lantern, you now notice it has been cracked. You will be unlikely to use the fog orb inside right now. To make matters worse, the portal that you apparently traveled through appears to be out of order. You will have to find a solution. For reasons that are difficult to understand, the mystical link between you and the orb is compelling you towards a specific nearby point. Somehow, like an inner guide is beckoning. You feel you know where you need to go. All right, now basically that's our next event right there, intuition. Our intuition is basically telling us where to go. It's so wild because I was just recently watching some Dungeons and Dragon content on YouTube, and the way they wrote these scenarios out is exactly how a dungeon master would explain and describe a scenario, and I think that's super dope. So if you're a fan of D&D, you would love stuff like this. But let's move over to this event. Unknown. Now when you just explore around the map, sometimes these little question mark signposts to pop up. Now you're supposed to get a little closer, and then it'll expose what it is if you meet the necessary skill checks. Sometimes these skill checks will be based on your exploration level for the most part, or your perception level. But for the most part, these little question marks are going to be able to be revealed through your exploration skill. So let's click here and go there. See, exploration went up because we meet the necessary skill. Now we can explore this location. This is the Throne of the Troll. That's what this location is right here. There you go, Throne of the Troll. Alright. This green hill has seemingly been carved into a throne fit for a huge being. A small natural cave is nested between the legs of the great chair. So this is supposed to shape like some sort of throne for a giant troll. And this is the cave that they were talking about. East entrance to a cave. Now you can actually access this cave later on, far down the line, but we're not going to get to that yet. Now let's go to intuition. The intuition encounter. Upon arrival, you notice a mysterious figure nearby. Cloaked in the shadows of a throne-shaped hill, he appears to be watching you. It would probably be wiser to step forward and introduce yourself before he becomes hostile. Alright, we'll greet them. We have the persuasion skill check, and we'll get persuasion experience for completing it. Let's go greet the man. The figure concealed in the shadow turns towards you. You see a wizened man of great age, whose wrinkled face tells the story of a life well lived. He greets you with a smile. Alright, we cleared that part of the encounter. Leonidas of Vow Song. Yes, I'd recognize that disoriented air anywhere. You are neither from Khartoum nor this country, are you? Do not fear, my child. I was a Mistwalker too. So this guy knows I'm a Mistwalker. We can talk to this guy. We have a few options. This option that has this explanation point, this is going to just advance the current quest, the storyline that you're doing. This is to gain more information. We can just ask him some stuff here. Nothing here is familiar. Where am I? He answers, yes, of course. I guess you haven't heard much from here, because walkers usually do not return home unless they're being held incommunicado. Okay, everything should change in the next few years, I suppose, since there seems to have been a phenomenon that has disturbed a great deal of the mist orbs. Alright. My apologies. I've strayed from your question. Yeah, I was getting confused. Like, what are you talking about, old man? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've strayed from your question. That is a habit of old age. You are in the Sanguinary of Khartoum, in the province of Ordo. I will not go into details, since some answers are best discovered by oneself. He's one of them speaking riddles types of old dudes. He looks like Gandalf, the Gandalf the White, or Gandalf the Beige. Though I'd warn you that people here do not have the same accent or the same custom as those of Vow Song. Okay, I don't really understand. Forgive yourself, young one. It is normal to be confused at this stage. You have a great journey to discover ahead of you. For now, just know that you have unwillingly crossed the mist that separates Vow Song from the rest of the world. You will notice that the people here have evolved different to the Valsonians? Oh, the Valsonies? Okay? But I have no doubt that you will learn this all for yourself. Though if you enjoy a problem-free life, it is probably best not to mention your origins. So he basically doesn't want us to mention that we're from another world when we go talk to people around here. Alright, look, I have a problem with my lantern. I can help you fix it, but you have to bring me some glass. I believe that you can find it in the forest near here. You will be able to find valves abandoned by adventurers passing by. I know. Such waste is incomprehensible. Okay. Such waste is incomprehensible for a valsologist. Okay. Oh, wait. Valsong. What? Okay. We're going to call it a Valsoni. But it must be understood that here, the resources are very much numerous and territory more vast. Okay, understood. I'm leaving immediately. Now he's going to send us on a quest to go into the forest and collect some glass. Leonidas has asked you to bring him some vials so he can use them to repair the glass of your lantern. You'll find some in the woods near your current location. Alright, now this is an actual player here. Let's walk over to the woods and get the glass. We ran into another location. As you can see, this little camping area wasn't just for decoration. It's actually an event here. Now, this chick, she's a side quest. Side quests are usually marked with the normal exclamation points. The other main quests are marked with the exclamation point with a shield around it that looks very similar to this quest marker here, this journal tab. Now, we can ignore her completely. We don't have to even talk to her, but we can just go complete the quest and go back. But since we did run into a new encounter, let's just talk to her. Here you go, Sorak. Do not hide. I only bite if asked. A simple temporary camp has been set up on the side of a cliff. A campfire crackles and pops its flames flicker in the breeze. Alright, let's talk to her. A rabbit cooks quietly on a fire installed near a small leather tent. A woman of undetermined age plays the zither. Oh, she's a zither player. Wow. While waiting for the meal to be ready. Well. Dressed as you are, you must be on your way to a ball. No self-respecting adventurer would dare explore a forest without being well prepared. So she's getting at our gear. She doesn't think we should be going into the forest without proper gear. Alright, where I come from, there's no such dense forests. I guess there is no rain, sun, wind, or bandits either, huh? Because frankly, unless you plan on living amongst the blades of glass, you are very ill prepared for anything. She got jokes, and she's 100% right, because I'm out here dressed in like just a shirt and pants. No sneakers, no boots, no anything. Alright, can you help me instead of making fun of me? Sure, but it's much less entertaining. Yeah, I like this already. Okay. If you want the right gear, I believe there's a camp of missing adventurers near here, where you could find clothes, weapons, or even tools to use. Go ahead and I will give you one of my quarterstaffs to reward your efforts. Alright, I'm not sure I trust you. Or we can say thank you, I'm leaving as we speak. You know what? Actually, I'm not distrustful of this person. She doesn't seem like she's trying to screw around with us. She's actually just gave us a good tip about being prepared in the forest. So I could question her morale, or I could just go with it. But for argument's sake, let's question her morale. Bah! Don't listen to me then. It'll be even more entertaining for me. Alright. No such dense forest. Alright. Okay, cool. Look. Help me instead of making fun of me. Okay, cool. We got to start it over. Alright, thank you. I'm leaving as we speak. So it basically started over the dialogue a bit if you distrust her. Alright, cool. Now let's go to this desired location. Now as you can see, we have two quests on the right hand side. We got this quest to go into the forest. And we got the quest to go as the Barefoot Explorer. And as you can see, I need 6 forests to enter into this forest area. Like, I can walk plainly on these plains area, because as you can see, we're at the plateau, the Troll Plateau. But if I wanted to go to this area is a completely different zone, and I would need at least 6 in my forest skill to even walk that way. So as you can see, my forest skill is only 5, so I don't meet the skill check to even enter the forest. So in all actuality, I couldn't really ignore this quest, because she's going to give me some very much needed equipment that is going to help me get into this area. Now that goes the same for like rocky areas are considered mountain terrain. They're going to do a mountain skill check for that. Then you have more, swamp style areas like something like this. They're going to do a swamp check for that. A swamp skill check for that, which is super amazing. Then you have something like going into a cave. They're going to do an underground skill check to even determine if you can get into that cave. So the cave might have a minimum requirement of like 10. And you can't even enter the cave until you have a skill of 10 in your underground. And you can get that through different pieces of equipment or just leveling up. And there's several ways you can get these skills to go up too, but that's just super dope. Like, you can't go into a forest unless you have the forest skill. That's completely amazing. Now, let's continue. I love that, right? Stuff like that is amazing. Now let's go. The Barefoot Explorer. A small backpack full of clothes lie on the ground near an old cauldron. Traces of humans and animal activity litter the ground. Alright. You arrived at the adventurers camp mentioned by Sorka. It's now time to search the equipment that could help you get through the forest. Alright, now we can search the camp. It's gonna require a minimum of 2 exploration skill. And as you can see, if you see that light blue bar next to the XP, that's how much experience I'm gonna gain from this. So that's pretty good. And we're gonna end up getting some worker shoes. As you can see, they give us stats, and we're gonna get a blanket. Now, you see the worker shoes they give you 2 forest, 3 mountain, and 3 underground, and they give you +1 botany skill and +2 hunting. Those stats are gonna immediately go into our stats over here. That's super dope. So just wearing a pair of shoes gives you the capability to walk into a forest. That's so like duh, and it's like, why didn't I think of that type of mechanic? It's like insane that other games haven't used that before. All right, the Barefoot Explorer. Alright, you find and take the shoes that the traveler had abandoned. They could be useful for allowing you to explore certain territories. We just went over that. Now we're going to go back to Sorka. Let's equip the shoes first. Here we go, equipped items. A pair of shoes has been put in your backpack as a reward. Equip them on your character to gain the forest skill bonus. This would allow you to enter the Little Suppin Forest and continue your adventure. Yeah, I just completely explained that whole thing, old man. You're late. And as you can see our equipment in real time. You can actually see it on your character, which is pretty dope. They have a durability of 127. They have an encumbrance of 1, so it's gonna weigh like 1 on our backpack. Yeah, and there we go. We got the skills. See, now we have the necessary forest skill to go into the forest. Well, let's get it. And we also got some mountaining, some botany, and all that other good stuff too. So, pretty dope. Now, the reason why these skills are red and at 0 is basically because we don't have the necessary tools to use these skills, but the level of skill is still displayed. Like, our botany is still level 3. Our hunting is level 4, as you see at the top. Our lumberjacking is level 2, and mining is level 2. If I take these boots off real quick, as you can see, all of those stats just went down. They're all back to level 2. But once I get the necessary tools, it'll allow me to use that skill. But for now, let's just equip our items and go do this little quest real quick. Let's go back to Sorka and have her crack jokes. Alright, I'll show her the shoes. And as you can see, in order to complete this part of the encounter, you need to have a 6 forest skill, basically meaning you have to have equipped the shoes in order to even complete this. It's going to do a forest check, and it's going to give us some forest experience that goes directly towards our forest XP. So not only do our character level up, but we also level up the skills as we complete certain objectives. And we're going to get a reward for this, our very first weapon. As you can see, 4 blunt damage right there. It has an encumbrance of 3. The materials used to build it is 5 suppin wood. There you go. And it costs, you can get 14 gold if you sell it, or that's how much it costs. Real quick, real easy. And there you go. We got some forest level up, and we got the staff. It was with weary pleasure that she was surprised by your success. As promised, she gave you a staff to help in your future adventures. You thanked her gracefully and continued on your way. Now it's time to search the forest for the glass Leonidas asked for. And there you go, we completed the scenario, we got the book. Well, you got the book page. Okay, you're entertaining, but I have an adventure to complete. If you need to rest, you're free to use my camp. But don't touch my mattress. Alright, I won't be touching your mattress. Alright, let's head into the forest. As you can see, Little Suppin Forest. It has a level of 6 to enter, as you can see, and it has 1 resource node. When you enter areas, they typically tell you how many resource nodes is there, how many separate events is there, a lot of stuff you can get just by looking at this little information tab. But for now, as you can see, we need a tool with 2 lumberjacking to gather suppin. So even though we have a skill of 2 with our lumberjack, we don't have a tool to actually cut the wood down. So we're not going to be able to harvest that at the moment. For now, we can get this glass though. We don't need a tool to pick glass up off the ground. Now look. Leonidas told you explorers left behind glass. Now all you have to do is find enough of them to allow you to repair your lantern. Let's go. Look for more glass. And as you can see, time is passing. A lot more time passed this time around because it took more time to look for the glass, obviously. You have traversed the forest for some time in search of vials. However, you could not find enough to repair the lantern. You notice that adventurer Cirque has returned to the camp. Maybe she could help you. All right, now the quest is sending us over to Circus Camp. Let's go over there. There we go. Let's talk to her again. Haha, you survived your big dangerous trip to the forest. Very funny. Hey, I'm looking for shards of glass. Though she still got jokes. Such a grand quest, I understand. I'm glad someone is picking up all this debris that so-called adventurers leave everywhere. Alright, you explained that you need glass to repair something. Alright, oh, I see. Not just a selfless deed then. I take it that means you're with the old fool who stays endless hours at the throne of the troll waiting for God knows what. So she knows about the old dude too. Alright, well, I like you anyway. And I have a proposal that might interest you. Alright, I'm listening. This area is called the Troll Plateau. I imagine you know why. No. There's no trolls under the bridge. Besides, the bridge is broken. Someone will have to help poor Aldrich with that. But that's another story. As I was saying, the place is called that because there was once a troll king living here. The king was defeated by an ancient hero of Khartoum. But the cave where he lived has survived the test of time. I know many adventurers visit this cave to find ancient artifacts. Would you like to visit it with me? Wouldn't be such a bad first date, would it? So she's taking us on a date in the cave, really? I would be honored to go with you. Or I can tell her I will go alone. But like, why would you want to go alone, my guy? No, we're not doing that. We will be honored to go. Let's go. Sorak and the Lost Mask. I don't remember this quest for some reason. But yeah, let's go into the camp to the north. Maybe they switched up the beginning of the game and how it works. Let's go to the cave to the north. Oh, wait. Let's see. Did they give us some sort of information? Don't forget your weapon. Before going any further, you should equip the staff you received earlier. In this cave, monsters will endanger your journey, and you must be able to defend yourself. Many different weapons, each with their own skill requirement to wield them. Alright, look. Yeah, the troll bridge needs underground skill of 12 to enter. Amongst the entire party, that is. So that's my skill and her skill combined. And she probably has a high skill in underground. So she has +7 underground. So we definitely have the 12 requirement. Let's equip the staff though. And there you go. We got the staff. The dreads look sick, man. Now let's enter the cave. Okay, there's a dragon there. Alright. There's a bunch of enemies in here. Now, we're only in here for shards. We're in here for the Gruffalo mask and glass fragments. Alright, let's go do it. Let's grab that fragment. Now, the way these caves work, well, that was easy. Do you need more? Or are we done? We actually need a lot more than that. Now, the way these caves work, they have the monsters that are in set locations, like blocking your path. But you can also get attacked by just walking through these areas. So you got to be somewhat careful. And try not to misclick, because that can cause you. And combat works kind of weird. We're going to get into some combat right now and explain a little bit. You can just click on a mob and it'll walk up to engage. As you can see, turn-based combat right here. Pretty standard stuff at the start. You can see that I got the initiative order. It's me first, then Sora, then the iguana, then whatever this thing is. First things first. This guy, oh, they have the same amount of armor. I'm just going to try to take the weakest one out first. Oh, that was a misclick. I did 1 damage. And look at that. She's super powerful. I'm basically just trying to stay alive in here. I could barely do any damage to anybody, but she can handle it. She's super powerful. We got some common components that we can use to sell that later for gold. I was about to say, can we get those grass fragments? Yeah, we're gonna mess with this thing last. We're gonna go talk to the spider. That's a lot of spiders. Ah, missed. Okay. Yo, she just did a dance on him and killed everybody. Thanks, Sorka. As you can see, we could mine this if we had mining level 9 plus the necessary tools. But we don't. Alright, now, let's go fight this hyena. Yeah, she's one shot and everything. Check out this dance. Now, as you can see, since we're battling in the underground and I'm using my staff, I'm gaining staff experience as well as underground XP. So everything you do in this zone, you gain experience in that specific skill. As you can see, we're gaining underground experience as we move along. Pretty dope. Might have been big enough for a den of wolves, but now it's abandoned. A lost chest. We just found a random chest. These pop up from time to time while you explore the map. They're not that frequent though. Let's open it up though. Whoa, that was huge actually. Let's see what we got. Adventurer's Greaves. That's big. Yeah, I don't think I got Greaves this early before. And we got 92 coins for that too. Very good. That's some dope armor. As you can see, it leveled us up quite a bit. Now, we could probably mess with these wolves. It wasn't the hyenas that did this. What do you mean? It's a borrower of royal vigors. The hyenas are just here to chew on the bones that have been left behind, or find the cubs that might be hiding. They could never have carved out such a massacre. But what worries me most, the possibility of a cannibine in the vicinity. And I couldn't protect you from one of those, foul beast. It's best we finish our quest soon. You can come back here later if you want. Ah, okay, so let's not mess with that. She doesn't even think she can take it out, so let's go this way. Yeah, if she don't think she can take it out, then I'm going to leave it alone. Wait a second. There's a chest there. Oh, she want to talk. Okay. The ledge gets very narrow here. The view of the falls and lake below is magnificent. Looking closely, you can see hundreds of ominous black shapes swimming through the waters. Oh wow, it must be a bunch of fish in there. Let's talk to her. I guess you never received combat training. Let's say more theory than practice. Haha, so cute. Don't worry, I'll keep you safe. Now take your staff. I'm going to demonstrate an old trick of the trade. En garde. Alright, use raw strength or use strategy. I'm going to use strategy on this one. And we're going to get jump strike. Now, completing quests, you can actually get talents and learn abilities from people that you complete quests from. That was obviously a very simple example of that. But usually when you're out in the world and you get quests from people and you complete a quest, one of the rewards just might be a new skill or a new spell or ability or a whole new talent that opens up a whole new talent tree. So it's worth doing all the quests in the game, even the side quests. Oh, you progressed from theory to practice real quick. I'm impressed. This technique will be very useful for you in the pursuit of life and adventures. After all, your precious glass fragments have been found, of course. No, not quite yet. Now, we're going to do a jump strike. Now, as you can see, this is just regular strike. It doesn't take away no energy. This takes away 15 stamina, does 6 blunt damage, and we get 140% weapon damage increase. Pretty good. Cooldown 1 round. And we missed. Soon as I go to display a cool ability, I miss. Off the rip. And we gotta wait a 2-turn cooldown. Yep, it's on cooldown. We can get a kill though. Let's go. Got some components, some XP. Let's go get this fragment. More ore. It's good to keep a track of where you find certain ores because you're going to need this stuff for specific recipes and you really want to know where you're going to be able to find it. So it's good to take a little mental note of where you saw certain stuff because we might not be able to get it now, but we're guaranteed going to need it later. And actually, this Pharaoh's ore is kind of rare, so that being at the very start, I actually forgot about that. That's pretty dope. Now, we can't really do much over here, right? Let's just go check one more time. No, it's not much to do. All right, let's head back down with the spiders. Now, this is obviously a starter dungeon. It's not gonna have random encounters, but every other dungeon from here on out is gonna have random encounters. So you gotta go into these dungeons completely prepared with tons of healing items and things like that, because you will get knocked completely out and sent packing. Let's take out the group of spiders. Jump strike. Did 3 damage. Check out this dance. We're getting a bunch of underground experience for this. Let's get this glass fragment. Now let's go over to this shore. The lake is a little shallower here and a few rocks protrude above the surface. Let's talk to Sora. Why do you need glass so much? Alright, it's for my Miss Lantern. We're not even gonna live to her. For what? Oh, we wasn't supposed to tell anybody about our Miss stuff, right? I imagine you're an arcanist. I hope this isn't some sort of spooky story of a cursed item. I really hate those types of stories. You're not used to knowing what. Alright, you're not used to someone not knowing what a lantern is. In vowel songs, it's a day-to-day object. Okay, so she doesn't have no idea what that is, and there I go, running my mouth. What do we do now? I think I can cross. Really? Okay, let me know if you need me. I'll be sitting back and watching the show. Alright, I'll go. Alright, now there's a few ways we can tackle this specific event. Walking in the water. You see shards of glass on the other side of the waterfall. Crossing without being carried away by the current will not be an easy task. We're going to take the athletic route. We can swim across, climb to circumvent the fall, or ask Sorek to help. We're going to take the athletic route, get some athletic experience as well. Ah, you made it through, come back, should be easier. Now we can just select to cross to the other side there. Now we have a decision to make. Let's go talk about this water snake. You're on a platform leading to a chest, but tied to the chest a creature the creature the likes of which you have never seen before. It's a trap, that's for sure. Let's talk to her, see what she thinks. We need a plan. It's surely not alone. What do you mean? I know this kind of monster. This isn't normal. The owner of the chest has tied it there as some sort of monstrous guard dog, knowing that if it's attacked, it will let out a cry of distress. If it does, hundreds of its kin would come to its aid. Really? Let's leave the chest there and get some glass. We could swim. Only if you're looking to alert every other snake in the cave. I'd prefer not to become snake child. Why don't you let me decide what to do? I have much more experience than you after all. I know. Let's put your ruggish looks to good use. We'll have the creature fall in love with you. She winks at me. She actually winked too. That's dope. Seriously, the water snake will stay quiet if it believes a potential mate is around. Not wanting to look weak, it'll play the strong and silent type. Okay. The visions outside the water pool, the water is poor. That means we only need to sort out the smell. Oh, really? I'm serious. I'm serious. Where's your sense of adventure? We need eggshells from a water snake's nest. With this, we'll be able to imitate the creature's scent. A sage at, crow lights inform me that water snake's nest on ledges overlooking waterfalls. Look up there. That's where we need to go. Follow me, gorgeous. I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh, man, this is insanely dumb. So now we got to go to the top of the waterfall to get the smell of victory. To get these eggshells. Oh, this is hilarious. Let's go. Let's go get the water snake. Let's go to the nest and get the water snake eggs. There's little quests inside these caves and all type of stuff like that. There's clearly a path that you don't want to take till late in the game. There's resources in this cave that is clearly for late game. And it's little funny events like this even. It's going to be fun. Sorek tries to grain her seriousness. We have everything we need. Let's go back to the monster to get ready. Alright, let's go. Path of the water. Now we gotta cover ourselves in snake eggs. Oh man, this seems like it's not gonna end well. See, look, this guy is clearly just minding his own business, getting a bunch of resources. He's level 44 too. Alright, let's use the eggshells. With malicious pleasure, Sorax helps to coat you with the revolting smell of water snakes. You thought she would do the same, but instead she smiles and draws her weapon. You look magnificent and you smell magnificently terrible. So here's my plan. I'll attack the creature while you concentrate on smelling as awful as possible so that it doesn't attract the other snakes. No one's going to believe this tale what I recounted in the tavern. Oh my god, she fooled us, I bet. So she can beat this thing anyway? She's terrible. Oh wait, can you actually win? You talking all that junk. Can you actually win here? Okay, she got heals. Okay, we're pretty good. You was talking a lot of smack, Sorka. And you getting critted? You can actually press the number keys that correspond to these icons, and then press the number that corresponds to the enemy too. So you can just do 1-1 if you want to do fast attacking, or like 2-1. So y'all press 2, then press 1 real quick. I don't even have to click anything on my mouse. Well, thank you. You got an upgrade. Wow, can you imagine if there have been 100 like that? She looks nervously toward the lake for a few moments. Our plan worked. The others won't come out. Everyone to the chest. Yeah, let's do it. Ah, we got a vest. The mask. The mask. Keep it on. Keep it on. Keep it on you until we know it's cursed. I mean, I have to be able to fight without being encumbered. You'll get back to be laid at my camp. Yo, she's a troll. It's been a full day, too. We've been down in here. Here we are. Do we have everything? Before we leave, we should check that we cover all the loot from the cave. We don't want the monsters settling in where we're not looking. As you like. Yep, we got everything we need. We have everything. Sorka believes it's time to escape the camp and return to her camp. Alright, escape the cave. Alright, let's leave. Troglodyte. Let's leave Troglodyte. Let's head back to our camp. And there we go. You have agreed? Alright. What a thrilling adventure. I apologize for the smell, but I really needed something to be the bait. She gives you a cheeky wink. Rest assured that I had everything planned out. I bought a very powerful soap from the druid so you can remove the smell of the water snakes. Well, I'd love to help you wash, really, but I promise to return this mask as soon as possible. I need to leave for Larson right now. Good luck on your future adventures. You watch Sorka leave and begin to wash off the lingering stench. Alright, he asks you to bring him glass vials so that you can repair your mist lantern. Let's head back and bring him the vials. Now, we went through all of that just to complete the very first mission. Alright, let's give him the broken lantern and the glass vials. You give the glass to Leonidas, then disappears behind the throne while mumbling something about how you should wait here for a few minutes. A few minutes pass, and many more. Just when you prepare to go looking for Leonidas, he returns, carrying your precious lantern in hand. Lantern repair. This should do the trick. Soon, though, you will have to consider making a better lantern for your orb. Nothing is familiar here. Can I reactivate the portal I came through? Yes, now that your lantern has been repaired, you can. You're welcome. That said, unless standing training has been greatly improved since my day, then you probably haven't learned how to unlock a portal. Return to your arrival point and I shall explain how to activate it. Excellent, I'll go there quickly. Alright, let's go head to the portal. As you can see kind of the flow of the game, you explore around the map. When an event pops up, it can be random. It can just be, somebody can send you to a certain location to start an event. You just complete the quest like that. You'll gain experience and skills and level your skills up and stuff like that. And then you'll be able to get more skills, and then you'll have other skill requirements to do other stuff and to complete other quests, so on and so forth. Pretty much like a traditional tabletop RPG. The only thing missing is the dice rolls. And they came up with a real clever way to get around the dice roll system. I like that a lot. I'm pretty sure there's some RNG when it comes to the attacks and misses and stuff like that, but other than that. Alright, to activate the portal, you need to perform a task that requires a certain score with the miss skill. Like I just explained, we need a certain level of miss to activate this portal. So we must equip the lantern that is located in our backpack. Let's do that now. Alright, we have the lantern. Oh, we have this too. Leather jacket. Now, this leather jacket gives us a bunch of stats. Look at that. It gives us 2 armor, 1 athletic, 1 perception, 1 subterfuge, 2 swamp, and 1 underground. It's a lot of stats for a leather jacket. And you can see it right there in real time. You got some healing valves. Let's equip this. That gives us plus 7 mist stats. So we at 20 mist right now. And we need 15 mist to activate the portal. Let's show it to him and see what he says. Alright, Leonidas opens up your lantern and grabs the mist orb inside. A blue crowd surrounds the clenched hand and a magical weave echoes through you. Alright, after closing the lantern, he indicates with a knowing smile that he has added magical energy to the orb. He stretches the lamp toward the portal, and you watch in amazement as the mist floods out of the arc surrounding the stone structure. With the portal now activated, Leonidas confirms that you can now cross through it and take possession of your new domain. He says goodbye to you before you step through the rich arc and heads for the throne of the troll. And here we are. Skanessa of Valsong. Finally. There you are. We had an appointment earlier. Had you forgotten? Never mind. No need to apologize. We must speak of the post of steward. Now, this random lady's just talking to us out of nowhere. Steward? Did you just say I was gone for an hour? About an hour, maybe less. The door of your mansion was still open and the chimney fire was still stoked. But I've been gone for at least a half a day. Gone? Gone where? Maybe you had too many L's at the graduation yesterday. Singsa lays her eyes on your lantern and becomes pale as the mist. You? He told me about this orb color. He arranged for me and you to be steward. Takes a deep breath and waits for your reaction. So let's tell everything that happened. A delicate situation. Alright. Discussion with the steward. You have returned to your home in the world of the mist. The sky is once more veiled by the magical mist of Valsong. Your eyes drawn to the sun, which after having crossed through the portal, now sits in a different place in the sky. So basically, this is where we're supposed to be from. This is the mist world. This is supposed to be the normal place we're from. And the place we just visited or just came from, that's supposed to be like the other world, quote unquote. So a place surrounded by mist is our real world, and the fantasy areas, I guess, where we travel to the next place. All right. She's aware of the world of the mist on your side. You have no idea how the authorities of Valsong will react if they knew what happened to you. You need to find a way to convince the new steward to help you. Alright, recount your adventure. This is just like a tabletop adventure written out by DM. After a moment of reflection, Skasana seems to regain her composure. She smiles at you warmly. So we completed that. The two of us seem to have just become partners in adventure. I'm not sure if my grandfather is really behind this, but it doesn't matter anymore. Alright. There's an ancestral clause in the steward code which states that we must inform the council of any teleportation to the outside world. It was never taken serious by the students, but I knew because of my grandfather that it was probably the mission they deemed most important. Grandfather. Shall we work in secret? For the moment, yes. I'd recommend discretion. Though I know well that secrecy cannot last forever, If we succeed in exploiting the world without mist, we can convince the council that your power is beneficial to cause the mother city. Okay. That's what I believe anyway. My power. Your ability to traverse the mist. As far as I know, nobody from Valsong will be able to follow you through them. Although one day, when I was young, my grandfather, Leonidas, came to my parents' house with a woman who claimed to be from the mist-free world. He wanted her to meet the council. Perhaps that means you can bring people in through the portal. Oh, so this is Leonidas' granddaughter. Okay. Alright. What are we doing now? The two of us seem to have just become partners in adventure. I'm not sure my grandfather's really behind this, but it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, wait. Let's change the subject. Let's talk about the domain. At the end of your training, Valsong constructed a small mansion in the Mist House for you. They expect you to develop your lands and strengthen the Mist House. It is the responsibility of the walker to successfully repel the mist. That should give our people enough living space that they are no longer feel imprisoned by the vapors. Personally, I've never felt trapped by the mist. They have in fact always given me a certain comfort, but each of us have our unique quirks and tastes, right? Alright, about the Mist House. The Mist House has two vital uses. It repels the mist and allows you to teleport yourself to other portals you know. Only the council knows how to build portals. It's a very well kept secret, as I'm sure you can imagine. Still, your training should be sufficient to keep it maintained. Alright, let's talk about the mansion. The mansion is your headquarters. It's a really quiet, lovely inside. This is where we work together to organize the labors of the land. About the workshop. It's not fit for a master craftsman, but it will get the job done and allow you to create the finest handicrafts you'll need. It's outside though, so I hope you don't mind the cold. Alright, let's change the subject and let's talk about steward. That's right, it's traditional after all. Every walker must have a steward, and every steward a walker. We stewards are rigorously trained in specialized schools. We keep the records of each. Okay, your skills? I finished my studies with distinction. In addition to operations, I'm a fine blacksmith, woodworker, sewer, and cabinet maker. I'll be happy to assist you in your early works. Do I imagine later on you need to hire specialized craftsmen whose skills exceed my own? When that happens, I should return to my own specialty organizations. Okay. And can I refuse? No, not really. I'm the final recruit available. All graduates have already been placed with other walkers. The Valsong authorities would have never allowed a domain outside of the city to be without a steward. Why? It's unthinkable. Okay, what is your salary? I see. You like to watch your coin. Fear not, Valsong's board covers my salary for the early years of my employment. You're only responsible to provide me with a room in your mansion and a place to work. Okay. Let's change the subject. Alright, bye. Alright, manage your items and companions, construct buildings, create items with crafting, trade and interact with other players, use portals to go back out on the adventure. This is basically your domain that they just explained. The portals, during your adventure, you'll discover many other portals. Portals are an access point to go back and forth to the world and to the domain. Right now, you must go back to the world to continue your adventure. Click the portals button in the menu and select the troll portal. Alright. They threw a lot of exposition at you right there at the end. There's tons and tons of text to read, but this is a tabletop game. You'll be, for the most part, reading everything. That little intro was kind of a teaser because there's not a lot of voice acting in this game, so you're going to have to read a lot of text, but it's super dope. It's super engaging. The stories they tell are very funny and very interesting, and for all of that, I guess they have to be if it's going to be mostly text-based. But yeah, that's the intro to Mist Legacy, and there we have it. We're going to go over a lot more stuff in the next video. We're going to get into harvesting, we're going to get into crafting and all the things like that. I just wanted to get through the very first intro video, which is going to serve as like a pseudo tutorial. Well, kind of the tutorial kind of starts now, because we basically just went through the intro of the game / the early tutorial. Teaches you about movement, combat. You know, you might get teach you how to collect certain things and how to explore different locations, and what these restrictions and these skills checks mean. So that's the basics of that. There's a lot more stuff to learn and a lot more stuff to go over. We're going to do all of that in a future episode. So we're going to end the episode here. I want to once again thanks everybody for tuning in, and I want to show my appreciation for all the support that we get on the channel. And if you like this game, if you're feeling Miss Legacy, just let me know in the comment section below, man. You can check the description box for all the information about the game as well. And just remember, this is a free-to-play game, so it doesn't hurt to try it. It just came out of early access. In my opinion, it's pretty dope. And yeah, let me know what's going on. With that being said, it's your boy DB4, and I'm out. Peace.